So, this review's been a little bit later than I had originally planned, and I mean, thank you guys for the comments from my last video and some of my other videos asking me for the review. Now, I've just been a little bit busy with a lot of things, coming back from holiday. I had a bit of jet lag, but I did manage to check out the Arsenal, or the Liverpool versus Arsenal game. And the one thing that I will say is that, first of all, this is no one's fault. This is not Unai Emery's fault. This is not the players' fault. Even though that there were players, i.e. David Luiz, that made errors, this is not their fault. And I want Arsenal fans to really think about this. Liverpool are a better side than us. That's a fact. Last season, in the same fixture, Liverpool away, we lost 5-1. That is a demolition. We got slaughtered, slapped, as one might call it. Not good enough. But this season, we bring in what, 6 players? Not all of those players are playing. We still don't have our best starting defense, which for me would include Tierney, it would include Bellerin in that side, possibly Rob Holding. So it's one of those situations where, to be really honest, we're missing at least 2, maybe even 3 of a back 4. Midfield, we're still trying to sort ourselves out, and up front we've got new players. We've got Pepe, new to the Premier League. Yes, he's talented, but still, we do not know what he can do. Still, he needs time to adapt to the Premier League. And we as fans, we've got to give him time. You know, it just isn't enough just to say, hey, you know, he had a few little step overs here and there, and oh, he's world class. Same thing with Danny Ceballos, you know. When I talked about my review in the Burnley game, he was the best player on the pitch. Against Liverpool, not so much. This side is still in a stage where we still need work. Emery, and I've read all the comments, watched tons of videos on what everybody thinks of Unai Emery, and saying Ian Wright talking about what was he doing, having Lacazette on the bench. And you know what? I get it. Because to be honest, I thought, even when I did my preview of that game, I thought that game 4-3-3, we were going to have Lacazette, Aubameyang, Pepe, and he didn't go for any of that. And the only solution that I've come across is that Emery is still trying to figure out what is his best 11 with the players that he has, and what is the best way for him to be able to get the best out of the likes of Aubameyang and get the best out of Nicolas Pepe. One thing that we know is if we look at the goals, just the raw goals, and if we move away from the whole fact that Pepe played in Liga and we just look at goals, nevertheless, Pepe and Lacazette are our most clinical players. This is the thing we have to realize. Pepe still hasn't scored a goal yet for Arsenal, and I think he's trying to find ways on how he could go about getting the best out of Pepe and get the best out of Aubameyang. Yes, we still have Lacazette. Yes, would I have liked to see more of Lacazette in this game? True. Who knows? He probably was still had a little bit of a niggling injury. It probably was one of those games that Emery's looking at saying, you know what, we're at the time 3-0, 3-1, like whatever. He came across and was like, is there any really point bringing him on? No, probably not. But do not panic, Arsenal fans. Like, we are still in this. And I thought for today's video, I want to cover a bit about the Tottenham preview as well. Because that is something that I think that if you take the Liverpool game aside, because right now we are not at a stage where we can compare ourselves to Liverpool. Yes, we have made improvements, and you have seen that through the result. We're a little bit better than we was last season. Last season, the fixture against Tottenham, looking at the preview of this game coming up. Yes, they've strengthened their midfield, but they have gotten slightly weaker in defense for me. I know they've got I think his name is Kyle Walker-Peters, or I'm not sure if that's his first name, but I believe his last name is Peters. At right back, who looks to be pretty decent, and he's been replaced Kieran Trippier. But the one thing that I will say is that Arsenal have gotten a whole lot better. Now, this game ended 2-2 away at their new stadium. This is a game that I would have very much liked to win, but I think it's going to be a difficult one. And I really only say that due to the fact that Nicolas Pepe still hasn't scored a goal. We still don't know what he can do. We've seen a little bit of flashes to say, yeah, he's got quality, but he still has not been clinical. This is why we signed him. Our midfield needs a balance. And I think that there are certain players, i.e. Granit Xhaka, that Emery is still trying to fit into this microcosm, into this team. I still think he wants him as captain. But for me, it's not that the fact that Granit Xhaka isn't good enough. It's just that Granit Xhaka only works well in certain games where the opponent's midfield is slow. So that way, if he has more time on the ball, then he has a greater impact. But for me, if you have fast, high-pressured midfield players like Liverpool, Granit Xhaka is absolutely useless. And I think against Tottenham, it's going to be a similar situation where you have the likes of Ndombele. We need physicality players in that midfield. And I hope that Emery goes back to doing a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. I think we need at least two. And against Tottenham, I generally think that maybe we should start off with Callum Chambers within that midfield, also having the ability to drop back into defence. This gives us the ability to push forward, to create three centre backs at the back with the attacking fullbacks along with the wingers that we have. So it almost turns a bit like a 3-4-3, which is fantastic. And I really do think that this is a game where, even though it's difficult, we can win. Obviously, you got the likes of Harry Kane. I heard Dele Alli's coming back. Obviously, we got Son. Ndombele, for me, is the biggest issue of them all. We need to be able to somehow stop him, slow him down, to be able to control that midfield. We cannot let Tottenham control the midfield battle. If we do, we can kiss this game goodbye. But I do see this game, I do see Arsenal edging it, and I do see lots of goals, and I see 3-2 coming on the horizon for the Arsenal. I think we'll just edge it, similar to how it was last season. We were very, very close to winning that game, and just through dubious decisions that just didn't happen. But I'm gonna go for Arsenal edging this one 3-2. Let me know your comments below, guys, and what do you think of the likes of the Liverpool game. I know I'll be responding to some of the comments later on tonight, as well as the upcoming game against Spurs. What do you think about how that game will turn out? I know every Arsenal fan is talking about wins at the least, and for me, I just feel like it'll be another win for the Arsenal as well. So Arsenal 3-2. Leave your comments below, and I will see you guys again next time.